Hello, students. I hope all are doing good. I pray to God for everyone's good health and safety. Children, you know that we all are going through a tough time because of COVID 19, that is, coronavirus pandemic. So, children, stay safe and stay healthy. Children, all your teachers have taken lots of effort to teach you online. As you know, that education is a part of our life. So, let's begin our online teaching learning process. Children, here you can see cover page of your textbook. The cover page is related to our today's topic. The textbook belongs to Maharashtra State Board. Subject that we are going to learn is Geography, Standard 9. Area is related to Physical Geography. Unit is External Movements. And topic is Exogenetic Processes, Part 1st. Children, before we begin, I would like to tell you that in the last lesson, that is in lesson number 2, endogenetic movements, we studied about internal movements. And now in this lesson, that is exogenetic processes, we are going to learn about external movements. Exo means external. So let's begin our lesson. Lesson number 3, exogenetic processes, part 1st. What is exogenetic? Exogenetic processes include geological phenomena and processes that originate externally to the Earth's surface. They are genetically related to the atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere, and therefore to processes of weathering, erosion, transportation, deposition, denudation, etc. Children, here you can see types of exogenetic processes. Exogenetic processes is also called as exogenic processes. There are 4 main types of exogenetic processes. Number 1, weathering. Number 2, mass movements. Number 3, erosion. And number 4, deposition. Again, these types have subtypes. Say weathering. Weathering has 3 subtypes: physical weathering, chemical weathering and biological weathering. In mass movements, again there are 2 subtypes: slow mass movements and rapid mass movements. In the same way, erosion and deposition also have their subtypes. In this lesson, that is lesson number 3, exogenetic processes, part 1st, we are going to study about only weathering and mass movements and also about their subtypes. And in the next lesson, that is lesson number 4, exogenetic processes, part 2nd, we are going to study about erosion and deposition. Exogenetic external processes and the landforms. Landforms formed on the Earth's surface as a result of internal movements are called primary and secondary landforms. For example, continents, mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. Because of external processes like weathering, erosion, transportation and deposition, the primary and secondary landforms give way to the tertiary landforms. For example, valleys, sand dunes, delta, U-shaped valleys, etc. Here you can see textbook page number 23. It shows figure 3.1a, the picture of exfoliation of dome-shaped hill. It is a type of a mechanical weathering. Figure 3.1b, the picture shows block disintegration. It is also a mechanical weathering. 3.1c, it shows shattering of a rock. This is also a mechanical weathering. This picture shows different types of landforms. You can study this. One more picture I have shared here. This is also a type of a different landforms. This is textbook page number 24. Here you can see figure 3.1d. It shows oxidation, chemical weathering. 3.1e, it is a picture of biological weathering. 3.1f, this picture is also of a biological weathering. 3.1g, this is a picture of chemical weathering. 3.1h, it shows chemical weathering or salt weathering. Here one activity is given. You have to perform this at home. You have to take an onion, cut it in the middle, observe the cut parts and try to remove each skin layer of these parts. and this onion, it will look like a exfoliation. You can see the picture here in figure 3.2. It shows a picture of exfoliation. This is also a type of weathering. Figure 3.3 shows a picture of alkaline crystallization. As I told you children, exogenetic processes, here in this chapter part first, we are going to study about weathering and mass movements. So again, weathering has three subtypes: mechanical, chemical and biological. So here we are going to study about mechanical or physical weathering. Mechanical weathering is also called as physical weathering. Mechanical weathering is the breaking down of rocks into smaller pieces without changing the composition of the minerals in the rock. Different types of mechanical or physical weathering. First is thermal expansion. Second, frost weathering. Third, exfoliation. Fourth, abrasion. And fifth is salt crystal growth. You can see a picture of mechanical weathering. Mechanical weathering, thermal expansion. This is a picture of thermal expansion. What is it? Thermal expansion is the tendency for minerals to expand and contract based on temperature. Rapid temperature fluctuations such as day-night cycles cause rocks to expand and contract. Mechanical weathering, frost weathering. You can see a picture of frost weathering. Frost weathering is a collective term for several mechanical weathering processes induced by stresses created by the freezing of water into ice. The term serves as an umbrella term for a variety of processes such as frost shattering, frost wedging, and cryofracturing. Mechanical weathering, exfoliation. We have already seen this picture in our textbook. It is the exfoliation of dome-shaped hill. What is it? Exfoliation is a form of mechanical weathering in which curved plates of rock are stripped from rock below. This results in exfoliation domes or dome-like hills and rounded boulders. Exfoliation domes occur along plains. Here you can see picture of mechanical weathering, exfoliation. Both the pictures are of exfoliation. Mechanical weathering, abrasion. You can see a picture of abrasion. Rocks break down into smaller pieces through weathering. Rocks and sediments grinding against each other wear away surfaces. This type of weathering is called abrasion, and it happens as wind and water rush over rocks. The rocks become smoother as rough and jagged edges break off. Mechanical weathering, salt crystal growth. You can see a picture of salt crystal growth. The granular disintegration or fragmentation of rock material produced by salt crystal growth. This means that there is salt crystallization in highly porous stones. Mechanical weathering, block disintegration. This is a picture of block disintegration. Block disintegration is when the rocks split along joints, forming large rectangular shaped blocks. Mechanical weathering, shattering of rock. This is a picture of shattering of rock. The breaking up and crumbling away of a rock caused by the action of moisture, heat, frost, air, and the internal chemical reaction of the component parts of rocks when acted upon by these surface influences. Mechanical weathering, granular weathering. You can see a picture of granular weathering. When the agents of weathering reduce rocks made up of different minerals to small pieces and fragments, it is called granular disintegration. During the night, the water freezes into the cracks, causing the rocks to expand. And during the day, ice in the fissures of the rock melts. This picture is also a type of weathering. Here I have shared textbook page number 26. You can see in figure 3.4 picture of granular weathering. Students, you have to perform this 2 activity at home. Read this and perform the activity. Next is chemical weathering. What is chemical weathering? Chemical weathering is the breaking down of rocks because of interaction of air, water or acid with the chemical composition of the rock. Types of chemical weathering. You can see a picture of reaction with water, reaction with oxygen, reaction with acid and reaction with organisms. Different types of chemical weathering. Number 1, hydrolysis. Number 2, oxidation. Number 3, carbonation. Number 4, acid rain. Number 5, acid produced by lichens. You can see here picture of chemical weathering. Chemical weathering, hydrolysis. You can see here a picture. What is it? Hydrolysis is the chemical breakdown of a substance when combined with water. The most common example of hydrolysis is feldspar in granite rocks changing to clay. Next is chemical weathering, oxidation. Here you can see a picture of oxidation. Oxidation is the reaction of a substance with oxygen. When iron in rocks reacts with oxygen, it forms iron oxide, which weakens the rock. Chemical weathering, carbonation. You can see here a picture of carbonation. Carbonation weathering is a type of chemical weathering. It is a process of mixing water with carbon dioxide to make carbonic acid. This type of weathering is important in making caves. Dissolved carbon dioxide in water or in moist air forms carbonic acid, and this acid reacts to minerals and rocks. Chemical weathering, acid rain. You saw this picture in your textbook as well. Acid rain is defined by the Environmental Protection Agency, that is EPA, as rain that has been made acidic by certain pollutants in the air. Acid rain is caused by emission of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide, which reacts with the water molecules in the atmosphere to produce acids. Acid rain falls to the earth and chemically weathers rock. Next is chemical weathering, acid produced by lichens. Here you can see a picture. Lichens also have significant impact in the chemical weathering of rocks by the excretion of various organic acids, particularly oxalic acid, which can effectively dissolve minerals and chelate metallic cations. Next is stalactite and stalagmite. Stalactite and stalagmite are elongated forms of various minerals deposited from solution by slowly dripping water. A stalactite hangs like an icicle from the ceiling or sides of a cavern, and a stalagmite appears like an inverted stalactite rising from the floor of a cavern. Children, always remember that stalactites with a C come from the ceiling and stalagmites with a G comes from the ground. Stalactites form when water containing dissolved calcium bicarbonate from the limestone rock, it drips from the ceiling of a cave. And stalagmites, it grow upwards from the drips that fall to the floor. Stalactites and stalagmites in caves. Here you can see a picture of stalactites and stalagmites. Ice stalactites and stalagmites. You can see a picture of ice stalactites and stalagmites here. This is a picture of biological weathering. I have shared here textbook page number 27. Figure 3.7 shows a picture of stalactite in Vadgaon Darya, Ahmednagar. Figure 3.8 shows biological weathering picture. And figure 3.9 shows lichen, that is also a biological weathering. Let's see what is biological weathering. Biological weathering is the weakening and subsequent disintegration of rock by plants, animals and microbes. Growing plant roots can exert stress or pressure on rock. Although the process is physical, but the pressure is exerted by a biological processes, that is growing roots. Biological weathering, you can see a picture of ant hill, picture of rat burrows in the ground, and picture of lichen. Biological weathering, the growing of trees on minarets. The last one is for this chapter is mass movements, or you can say mass vesting. Mass movements or mass vesting is the movement of weathered material down a slope due to gravitational forces. This is a slow, gradual, but more or less continuous movement of soil down the hill slopes. Different types of mass movement or mass vesting. The most common mass vesting types are falls, rotational and transitional, slides, flows and creep. Falls are abrupt rock movements that detach from steep slopes or cliffs. Rocks separate along existing natural breaks such as fractures or bedding planes. Types of mass movement. You can see a picture of mass movement, types of mass movement. Number 1 shows rock fall. Number 2, rock slide. Number 3, debris slide. Number 4, debris flow. 5th, creep. 6, block slide. Number 7, slump. And number 8, subaqueous sand flow. Here I have shared one more picture. You can study in detail. Next is mass movement slumping. You can see here a picture of slumping. A slump is a form of mass vesting that occurs when a coherent mass of loosely consolidated materials or a rock layer moves a short distance down a slope. Movement is characterized by sliding along a concave upward or planar surface. Mass movement rockfall. You can see a picture of rockfall. A rockfall or rockfall, in any ways you can write, refers to quantities of rock falling freely from a cliff face. The term is also used for collapse of rock from roof or walls of a mine or quarry workings. Mass movement landslide. You can see a picture of landslide. The term landslide, or less frequently landslip, refers to several forms of mass vesting that include a wide range of ground movements such as rock falls, deep-seated slope failures, mud flows and debris flows. Mass movement solifluction. You can see a picture of solifluction. Solifluction is the gradual movement of wet soil or other material down a slope, especially where frozen subsoil acts as a barrier to the percolation of water. Children, like weathering and mass movement, erosion and deposition is also a type of exogenetic processes. We will study the agents of erosion and landforms produced by them in next lesson. Here I have shared some references. You are required to download Diksha mobile app from Google Play Store and can watch lessons video online. And you can also download State Board textbook from Google Play Store and you can read the textbook. Here you have to solve exercise question in notebook. I have shared a picture of page number 29 of your textbook. Read this, read the textbook, find the answer and write down in your notebook. Thank you so much, students.